We're all looking for those league-winning players in the back half of our drafts with our last picks. We're looking at those rookies. We're looking at those younger players who are a bit unknown but had some upside in their portfolio. One guy with a lot of upside is A.D. Mitchell, rookie wide receiver of the Indianapolis Colts. He's got 4.3 speed. He stretches the field. Drafted in the second round this year. Blew up the NFL Combine. We're going to talk about him today in today's deep dive to see whether or not you need him for fantasy football. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're doing deep dives every single day during draft season and then also in season for the waiver wire, for guys changing depth charts and everything else, on top of helping you set your lineups, helping you pick players off the waiver wire, and all the other information that's dropped on this channel. Click that button. Stop missing out. But Josh Downs was nicked up with an injury. He should be good to go for the start of the season. But another thing to realize, that if something happens and one of the two main wide receivers go down between him and Michael Pittman, it's going to be him getting a lot more workload. But going to A.D. Mitchell, he wasn't highly recruited coming out of high school. He was ranked 60th best wide receiver in the class, but some big Power 5 programs was after him. At the top here, Georgia, Arkansas, Auburn, which is a good sign that they were looking at his talents. He's got good length to him. He's got good speed. And we went to Georgia, but remember during his sophomore season, he got injured with that ankle injury and had to come out early. 2023, we transferred to Texas, and we went off, catching 55 balls, 845 yards, and 11 touchdowns. He was getting a lot of deep balls, getting a 16 average depth of target, but at Georgia, he was getting deep balls as well. 15.2 and 15.6 average depth of target on his career. What that means is the length of the pass that was targeted to him. So the deeper, the better for splash plays. That's what A.D. Mitchell is projected just by that number. His yards per out ran last year is at 1.72, a little bit on the low end. Yak is a little bit low, but he was getting so many deep balls, it's hard to rack up the yak because of where the ball placement was positioned on the field. And he had some big moments last year. He had 3 100-yard games, Kansas State, Kansas, and Oklahoma State. Also had some moments against Alabama, Tennessee, Oregon, and then Alabama again. And then remember, the high ankle sprain in 2022 really slowed him down. So this year was a comeback year for him. He came back in a big way, and he ran a 4.34 at the NFL Combine, got drafted in the second round. The draft capital was with him as well. And you look at this depth chart here, you got Michael Pittman and Josh Downs, which are two very good wide receivers. Michael Pittman's probably going to own a 25% target share or better this year. Josh Downs is going into year 2, had a very good rookie season, should be in the slot a lot, but he's a very good route runner with very good ball skills. So there's not going to be a ton of targets to go around in this offense because Alec Pierce is going to get a little bit as well. But A.D. Mitchell, the thing about him is the talent and where Anthony Richardson wants to put the football because he likes to sling it deep. But when it comes to deep balls, Anthony Richardson back in college was third among Power 5 quarterbacks in deep ball rate. 19.4% of his passes went 20 yards or more, which fits well with A.D. Mitchell. So if he's got to sling the rock, he's going to push it downfield to his guy stretching it. A.D. Mitchell running a 4.3, and he can also separate downfield as well. He's also a very crispy route runner with good length on him, good ball skills, and he's been looking good in training camp. On top of that, you look at the offense, Michael Pittman should soak up the targets. He should soak up the targets. He had a 31% target share last year. 25 plus, easy for him. Might be pushing 30. Probably will be somewhere around there. Josh Downs, 18%. Probably will be around that range, maybe low 20s. Maybe could get there. Alec Pierce, 12%. Could be in that range. And we're probably going to see around a 10 to 15% target share for A.D. Mitchell, somewhere around there, because Josh Downs is good. He's going to get targeted. Michael Pittman is going to get at least a 22 to 25% target share, at least, possibly more, maybe more like 25 to 30. So he's going to rack up them targets. So there's not really a lot of balls to go around. So why should we be excited about A.D. Mitchell? It's because of the unknown. It's because of the deep ball factor. It's because of the big playability. The fact that he can get deep targets downfield, and the fact that he could just take over and be that rookie that comes out of nowhere. And he's also very cheap. And this Colts offense runs the ball at a good clip with Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson. It's hard to look at the rates from last year because Anthony Richardson was out for a good bit. But when you look at the ADP for AD Mitchell here, drafted in the 11th round of Underdog drafts. That means in your home league drafts, he's probably going undrafted in a lot of them, or maybe in the last or final rounds. But AD Mitchell's upside with the 4.3 speed, with a quarterback that will push it downfield if he gets the opportunity, could be that lottery ticket that turns things around. He's been looking good in training camp. He's been looking good in preseason. And maybe he's spiky, where he does nothing for like 3 to 5 weeks. Then all of a sudden, he scores 30 fantasy points. He does nothing for the next 2 to 4 weeks. All of a sudden, 25 fantasy points. Maybe it's like that. Maybe that's a player that you want. Maybe that's a player you don't want. But he's also a rookie. Expect a rookie ramp up where he's got to develop. Maybe it's this year. Maybe it's next year before he goes off. But he does have the potential to do that, and there's a range of outcomes. But more than likely, odds are saying he's going to be off and on. He's going to be on the field. He's going to be catching some deep balls here and there. But also on the top of those range of outcomes could be him taking over, because we see the separation on tape back at Texas and Georgia. We see the ball skills. We see the deep speed. He could be the X factor in this Colts offense and for your fantasy team. So that's why he's a good lottery ticket to go after. On top of that, he's cheaper compared to the other lottery tickets who are considered high-end rookie wide receivers. So if you missed out on that range because you're drafting running backs, this is another lottery ticket to go after because of the deep speed, because of the upside. And we're seeing him go in drafts around the 13th round in multi-site ADP over at 4for4, and this is an average of ADP for ESPN, Yahoo, NFL, other big sites. This is more reflective of what you'll see in your leagues, but again, home league drafts are weird. When you're drafting the backyard, some of these rookies are going to fall a little bit further than expected, and you can gobble them up at discount. And these lottery tickets, you never know when they're going to hit, but sometimes they'll hit for you and they'll win your league. Because when they hit big. And that's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for the moon. If we're 4 weeks into the season, you're seeing nothing, just drop them, move on to the next player. But we got a lot of lottery tickets in this range that we got to talk about as well. We'll be doing more deep dives. You don't need them because you don't need another dart throw. You're going running backs. In double-digit rounds, I slam the running back position. So there will be leagues I go past them because I'm drafting running backs. I'm just going with those upside running backs instead of the upside wide receivers. There's some leagues where I am drafting them, but you are drafting them because you want that lottery rookie wide receiver because he's got a ton of upside paired with Anthony Richardson, and that could win your league. And if it doesn't, you know you can just release him to the waiver wire. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.